All right. Please, I can you see my screen? Can you?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
All right. So just 1 hour we will be done. We'll be done by 8 o'clock, and I'll be out of here. All right. I will ask the assignment I gave previously. I want to get it next class, not today class. So I will give Mike enough time to get himself back. So the class is unrecorded. I've also started recording the class. So in case we miss the class, we can go back and check the video. So a quick review of what we did last class. We went to talked about the third container or arrays that we have in Python, which is a set. So we look at the terminologies of set, um, the universal set, difference of set, disjoint sets. They also look at Venn diagram, how to apply set in case of Venn diagram, which is the assignment I gave to us. Now, if set is a container, it simply means the method that is applicable for list and tuple is also applicable. What do I mean? For example, a set can be loop. Secondly, you can get the length of character in a set. For example, like this terrestrial now. If you look at this terrestrial set that I have here, it means that I can know the number of elements that I have inside this particular set: cat, frog, dog, and lion. So a layman will say this is actually 4, okay? But we know that from the indexings that this is actually what 3. Another thing we talk about the characteristics of a set is that we say set is unordered, okay? Is unordered, so we don't actually know the position of elements in a what in the set. But if you want to get the length of item in a set like we do for that of list and that of tuple, you can use your len method and you pass in the set name. So that's this one will actually give you the length of character that you have in this particular set. So if you run this, you should see that it will print out 4 for you on the terminal. So you can see I'm having 4 here. So it means that these elements in this particular set, they are 4. So that len method is applicable for set also. So that's that about set. Please, by next class I'm going to get the assignment of sets. So today we are going to go and look at dictionaries. So I'm going to give it let's get dictionary.py. Dictionary.py. Okay. Now, basically, we said the reason why we are looking at array is because number one, variable cannot carry multiple items. Please, I want to know if you can hear me. Oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is it loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the reason why what we started talking about this array, we said variable cannot carry much items like that. So we said we can pass it inside what? Inside an array. So we now notice that array can carry multiple containers or elements. But the issue about an array is that an array cannot collect the identity of an object. For example, if I want to get a person, if a person is an object, because after this we'll go back to array to Python um, Python operators. So before we now enter the objects, there are a lot of things we'll see before we enter objects, because that will be later. So now, if for example now I want to get the item about a person information, okay, let's say I want to get the person name, the person address, the person age, the person phone number, if possible even the person states of origin. I can't actually get that in um, inside your array, like something like a set, like a tuple, or something like a list will just put them inside a container like that. You can't actually get them like that. So the last guy there is a dictionary. So a dictionary is an unordered or mutable collection of items. So number one, dictionary is unordered. Another one is the dictionary is what is mutable. Now the question now is, how do you declare a dictionary? How do you declare what a dictionary? So a dictionary is declared just like you declare your search using your words, your curly brace. All right, using your curly brace, you declare words dictionary. So if I pass in something like this in my program, this is a dictionary, okay? Or I use the dictionary method, which I can say dits. This is the method, bracket open and words and close. Now the difference between, you can see that it's telling you that new empty dictionary has been created. So that's the dictionary words or method. The difference between dictionary and a set is this. Number one, dictionary has to do with key and values. It's a collection of keys and words and values. Because you need a key to access a value. For example, if I say name, okay, I said age, I said address. If I say name, then I pass in the name Mike, okay. I said age 40. I said address 23 Adebingbe Road. Now, on that name, name is a key, okay. Why the person's name, the mic there is the what is the value. All right. Then if I say age, age can be a key. Wherever you pass there for 40 is going to be the value. So you can see what we say dictionary can be used to collect an object. For example, let's say I declare a dictionary of person. So if you are declaring a dictionary, you use the variable name dictionary of person, dictionary of person equals to, all right. They will say use your words, your curly brace. The dictionary has to be what, a key and a word and a value. Let's say for example I want to say the name, all right. You pass it inside a string. Let's say I said name. Let's say the person's name is Mike Emmanuel. Mike Emmanuel. All right. Then Mike has what, has address. So I want to collect the address of Mike also. So I can come here and I said I will pass here and said what, address. So if I pass address, I can say Mike is living in 23 Oyebanji Road. Okay, 23 Oyebanji Road. I can also get the age. I can say the age of Mike. Now the reason I pass age is for us to know the difference between number and string. I can say 23 straight up. So now I have to pass a comma. You can see that when I pass in age and I say 23, I didn't pass this inside a code because this is integer. All right, you only pass string inside a word, inside a quote. All right, integer, which is the number data type or your float, please, you don't pass them inside a quote. I can also get the state that Mike is from. Let's say Enugu. Mike is from Enugu. All right. Now you can see that this is an entity of a person, because if you close this thing here, you can see this entire items as what, they have been collapsed together and there are things inside. So with this kind of information, I can tell you that this is the person's name. If I want to print, I will just say print my dictionary, which is what, which is person. So if I run this, I should get my result printed out. You can see that I'm having name Mike Emmanuel, address 23 Oyebanji Road, age 23, state Enugu. All right. Now that is Mike as a dictionary. So one thing we need to observe here is that a dictionary is declared with a curly brace. A dictionary makes use of a key and a word and a value. Now, how do I access item that is inside my dictionary? How do I access items that is inside my dictionary? For example, I may want to print out only the name, only the word, the name. So if I want to access only the name, I have to call the key, isn't it? I can say, for example, I can say, if I say print, let me just put in some statements here. If I say print, so that you see print person is my word, is my dictionary, I'll pass it inside a square bracket. I'll call this name here. All right, if I run this program, what you will see printed out is Mike what? Emmanuel. So basically now I can access any item inside this particular dictionary. I can access age. So if I want to print out age along, I can say dots. I'll see passing my person, because you must always access your dictionary. I can say age. I will have access to what? To age. If I run this, I will have access to what? To age. Alright, I can see it's telling you is what? 23. I can have access to what? To something like states. So my just have to pass my comma and say person. I'll put my square brackets. I'll pass it the key. Okay, the key. Then I'll have access to what? State, which is what? Enugu. So what am I trying to say in essence is this: you access the value in a dictionary with the what? With the key. That's why we will tell you that a dictionary is a set of key and a what? A value pairs. They are set of key and a value pairs. When they say something is a pairs, it means that they go together. You need one to what? To access one. Is that okay? Is that
Yes, sir.
okay? All right. Now, the
Yes, sir.
question now is this: we have looked at how we assess the value of our dictionary using the word the key. Okay, how do you assess all items? Because there are methods that are applicable to this particular dictionary. For example, we said a dictionary you can change, because we said if we said it's mutable, it means that we can change item inside the words inside the dictionary, isn't it? That's what we say. What's mutability? You can make an adjustment, you can add item to it. For example, when I declare this dictionary and I forgot to add a particular word item, I can I can add the item. So what I would just need to do is to call my dictionary name. I will call the key that I want to pass this dictionary to be with. For example, I want to know the hobby of words of Michael. So I'll say, okay, let's say the hobby of Michael is, consider I'm calling a string, is sports, sports, dancing, dancing, running, running. So this is the hobby of Michael. Now you notice now that this was not in my what? In my set. I've added this. This hobby here is the key. While everything I wrote here, they all belong to the value. So if I come here and print out my person, which is my dictionary, you will see that that hobby will be added. That hobby items will be what? Will be added. It's telling me, okay, because I have X outside here. So when I run it, what do you have? I have name Mike Emmanuel, address 23 Oyebanji Road, age. You can see the hobby here. You can see now that this hobby is the key. Wherever I pass in here is what? Is the dictionary. If I want to access only the hobby now, I can just come and say, let's say print. We print out empty stuff here. So let's say I print out, I said print person. Then you can see that hobby is not part of the keys that I have here, because it has been added to my word, to my dictionary. So you can see that I have access to only the words, the hobby. Now mutability concept, now we can change hobby to something else. We can change words hobby. We can change hobby to any items. I can change the name. Let's say I want to change the name from Mike to Oliver. I want to change the name from Mike to Oliver, because we said it is what? It is mutable. So what I need to do is to call my dictionary name. I'll pass the key inside. The key is what? Is the name that I want to change. Pass the name. I'll say the name equals to what? Oliver. So if I come here and I print out my dictionary, my dictionary is what? Is person. I print it out I'm going to have, you see that name, which is Mike Emmanuel, has been changed to what? To Oliver. So what we are saying in essence is that the item in your dictionary can be what? It can be uh, changed. Then the item in your dictionary can also be what? Be removed. All right. The item in your dictionary can be removed. There are two methods. There are two ways of removing item from your dictionary. Number one is using your pop method. All right. Number one is using your pop method, while the number two is using your del keyword. I call it a keyword. Now you can see that you will see that the properties of a pop in lists and the property of a pop in tuple, okay, sorry, in set, because tuple set it is immutable. When it's declared, it's just like that. It is different from the property of a pop in dictionary. Okay, now if I come here and I said I want to pop out, means I want to remove. Let me comment it out. Remove. Let's say I want to remove any particular key in the dictionary of a person. Let's say I want to remove something like states. So I can just say person. I can just say yeah, person is my dictionary name. Person. Person dot. You can see the keyword that we have here. I'm going to use some of this method now. We can see that we can clear. You can clear a dictionary. You can copy a dictionary. You can get item in a dictionary. You can get the items. You can get the keys. You can even pop. So this is the method I'm looking at. Pop. So if I'll pass in the key that I want to pop out. I'll pass in the key that I want to pop out. So the key that I want to pop out here is what is states. That is what I'm popping out. So I'll just pass in what states here. So if I run and print out this dictionary again, if I print out the dictionary of person, state will not be what? Will not be added. You can see that name was there, address is there, age is there, hobby is there, but state has been what? Has been removed. So pop method in things like list, you don't need to pass in anything inside your bracket. Did you remember? Pop in something like set, you don't need to pass anything inside your bracket. You just pop it out. It will pop the last item. But pop here, you can specify. Let's say I can say I want to pop out age. So if I run this my code, age will pop out while the state will remain. So pop, you can what? You can state what you are popping out in your dictionary. So another method of removing is not a method, it's just actually a keyword, is the del. This is what del. That's why del is actually a reserved word in Python. Okay, del is a reserved word in Python. That's why if you are spelling delete, okay, you have to spell it completely. Don't abbreviate it, especially when you are declaring a function and you want to use a short keyword. You don't need to abbreviate them to be del. Use something else. So if I say del, I call my dictionary, which is person. I pass in the key that I want to delete. Let's say I want to delete something like, I've deleted age before. Let me delete something like states. So let's say I now come here and I run my what? I print out my what? My person. I print out my person. So if I run this program, you see that two items will be what? Will be deleted, the state and the what? And the age. So you can see where this one is running. Let me just put something here so that you know what's going on here. So you can see that we have name, we have address, we have hobby. State is removed, then this other one has also be what? Be removed. Alright, my recording is going on fine. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, just a bit of a headache. Sorry.
Alright, so sorry, just bear with us. In the next less than 20-25 minutes we'll stop. Please, I hope by Saturday class you'll be okay. Now I said something that the methods that the method of dictionary you want to see. Sometimes, how do you print out these items in a vertical order? Remember, since it's an array, it means that you can loop. Okay, you can loop through it. For example, I can loop through this particular dictionary of person. If I want to loop through it, I can say for p. Remember, we said it's for variable name in what, in your array. For p in person, if I say person dot what dot my item, let's say person dot what item. Item is actually a method. What item does is that, I think I will have to print out item for you to see first. Let's just run something here. Let's say I said, let me pass this one here. I said print person dot item, so that you see what this method is doing. A method must have a bracket open and close at the front of it. So look at what this item is doing. What item does now is it added dict items to it. So what they did here is that they put a key and a value. Name, then the value is what, Oliver. Address, the value is what, 23 Oyebanji what, Road. Hobby, the value is what, sport, dancing, running, and what, football. So that's what this method is doing, these items. So now what I want to do right now, I want to print out these particular items in a vertical order. So what I'm going to do, I will say for p in person dot what items. This is a method. A method must have a bracket open and close. So if I say print out my what, my p, print out my p, if I run this program, you see that this record is going to come down. You can see that there is coming down in a vertical order now. Name, which is the key. Oliver is the value. Address is the key. This is the value. Hobby is the key. This is the value. Mind you, hope you know that we have deleted some things here. Let me just where did I call pop, so that everything will just come outside straight up. So let's see. You notice I have more items: name, address, age, state, and what, hobby. You can see that these items are coming out what, in a vertical what, order. Are we together? Now, the next thing
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the next thing we quickly look at now is this. Because if you look at the method that we have here, let me just show you some method. That's why you need to use an ID. You have to take advantage of the ID, because all of these method you may not remember them. You can see that we have clear. It means that you can clear item in a dictionary. All right, you can clear item in a dictionary. So let's see what this guy is doing. Person dot clear. So let's say I now come here and I said print out what, person. Let's just see what it's going to do. All right, that's how to learn. Okay, you just have to try something yourself and see what you're going to have. So you can see that the person dictionary is not turning to what, to an empty word. It's turning to what, to an empty word dictionary. If you see, anytime you are seeing something like this is what we call empty. Okay, it's not turning to what, to an empty dictionary. Let me make it obvious to you. Let me say person dot items. Person dot what, items. I pass in my bracket open and close here, so that you see that it's an empty word dictionary. What do you have? Dict items is what, is empty. The reason why it's empty is because of this word, this clear word, this clear method. If I comment that out and I run my program again, you see that I have items in my what, in my dict word items. So the clear method is for you to clear item in your what, in your dictionary. So let's look at another method. Let's say what is person person dot copy. Person dot copy means that you are copying the items in what, in your dictionary. Okay, you are copying items in your what, in your dictionary. Get is to get item. This one you use them in your what, in a function or in a sub program. You copy from one particular variable or one particular data type to another what, data type. All right, now let's say you want to get only the keys. I want to print out only the keys, not the value. Now I want to print out only the keys, not the value. I can just say okay, person dot what kills. All right, kills bracket open and what close. Print out your item. Now you see that I will just only have the what the key. I'm supposed to have only the key. The reason I'm not having only the key because you know that I call the method called here items. So let me just say I remove the items. Let's run this now. Person dot what dot kills. I'm still having name Oliver is still giving me the what the value. So let me pass this inside a print statement. Okay, let me comment this out. Let's say person dot what dot kills. Let's pass it inside the statement so that everything will be executed at once. I want to just have access to the what do I have now. You can see that I have only the word the keys, the key name, address, age, and what state and op. So that method enable you to what to uh, get the key. If I want to get the value, I will just pass in person dot what dot value. These are built-in what method. Please let's not forget a method in programming language is not only Python programming language I'm talking about now. A method in all these programming language are built in, they are reserved. Okay, they are inside the programming word syntax, and you can identify the method if that particular statement is having a round bracket open and a round bracket close in front of what of it. Is that understood? Is that okay?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let me see some other method. Person, please you can exploit your VS Code later. Person dot pop items gets. Now all those are you are seeing you are having underscore underscore annotation underscore class underscore get item underscore contain. All those things are their main method, so you can't just use them like that. You use them in a sub program. You can see that there are many for this dictionary. You can see there are many for this particular dictionary. Now let's see what person dot update. Okay, let's just see what this update is doing. Person dot update, this is a method I want to let's say I want to update states. I said the update method takes what support key and what and get what items. He said it take a string and anything. So let's say states. Let's see what I'm going to have. Print out what? Print out person. So it said update sequence. What is saying? It said dictionary update sequence element has no length. One, two words. One length 1, 2 is what is required. All right. Let's say updates this to what to this. Lagos. All right. So type error update expected one uh most argument but got what two. So let's check. You can go online and check what update does. So there's an AI called, I think I've dropped the AI here before, because sometimes you are writing your code, you don't really know everything. All right, sometimes you may forget some certain syntax that you want to use in the course of your program. So it's always good for you to be familiar with those working tools. So let me just, I can just say bug detector. Let's say bug detector, so that then I'll just go for my programming language. I'll paste the code here, so they will correct it for me and tell me what I'm supposed to what to do. So I'm having a type error. So they said the syntax is these are supposed to have it. So let's say I want to turn the state to Lagos. I want to turn the state to Lagos. They even gave you two approaches that you can use. So I want to turn this state to Lagos. So state Lagos. If I run person here, you can see that the state which was Enugu before has been turned to what? To Lagos. So you can actually use the update method to get that done, or you use the pop method to just change it, whatever method that you want to use. Now we are just to give you the various syntax or terminology. It is you that will now stick with the one that you are convenient, the one that you like to what to use. Okay, you will not stick to it and be using it. So you can check if an item exists in your dictionary. Now please, that thing that we looked at for that set is also applicable. If I say print that length method can also be used here. It will give you the length of item that you have inside your dictionary. So if I run this, I'm going to see the number of items that I have there. So you can see that it's telling me 5. So it means that I have what? 5 what keys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I've added some things in the course of this program. So that's why it's telling me that I have 5. 1,
Yes, hobby too is
2,
there. 5.
3, 4. Hobby, yeah. 4, 5. Hobby is also what? Is also there. So that's that about. You can also loop. I've told you how to loop your dictionary. You can get the length of item. Let's say using one of these of our operator, let's see how we can check if an item what exists in a dictionary. If an item exists in a what? In a dictionary. So how do you do that? You can use the inclusive operator. All right, the inclusive operator to what? To check if an item exists inside your what? Your dictionary. Let's see how to do that. Let's say I want to check if age exists. I can just say if in bracket age in person. Person is the name of my dictionary. If this in person, let's say print age exists in your dictionary. Age exists in your what? Dictionary. So if you run this program, you will notice that this one will be executed because age is present in your words in your dictionary. But let's say a key that is not in your dictionary, let's say for example country is not in my dictionary, and I said if country in person, country is not actually in that dictionary, you will notice that that statement will not be executed. Remember, we said we are going to look at the conditional statement as the topic on its own later. So what it says is that the if conditional statement is executed if and only if the condition is a what? Is a true. Alright? If this condition is a false, this statement will never be what? Be executed. But when the statement is a true, when the condition is a true, like states, when the condition is a true, you will get state exists in what? In dictionary. State exists in what? In your dictionary. So you get it there printed out. So that was one thing about how to check. So I can decide to run this inside my program. I may not say if I may not do it like this. I may decide to come and do it like this. Let's say, or I want to do it like this. I want to also check if this guy also what exists. All right, I can say print age in person. Now the reason why I'm bringing this now is this in, it means what? The inclusive operator. It means that this item is a member, and one thing about the inclusive operator, they return a boolean result. I remember we said a boolean result is a what? Is either a true or a what? A false. So it return if this guy does not exist in the dictionary, you will get what? False. But if this guy exists in the dictionary, you get what? True. So if I run this particular line of code, you can see that I'm having what? True. So the reason I'm having true is because, oh, I've copied this. This is what I want to paste. So the reason why I want this to be executed is because age is in what? It's in dictionary. But if I come here and I pass in and I say something like country, I know that country is not in my dictionary. If I run this, you can see that it's giving me what? A false word result. Mike, are we good?
Yes, sir. 100%.
All right, thank you. So the last concept we'll look at before we call it a day is let me just type this one because this is a great concept. Nested words dictionary. Nested dictionary. Are you the class coordinator of this particular course? They used to have somebody that used to coordinate the class.
It's not me. Oh. It's not me. Oh.
I don't even understand. Even the first day we have like 3 or before join. Today now I'm having 2.
It's two.
Oliver, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I thought you just join and you zoom out.
No, I've been here since. No, I've been here since.
All
Just
right,
watch.
all right, all right. Thank you. Now this particular concept is very very important. The nested dictionary. A nested dictionary is a dictionary when you have a dictionary inside another dictionary. Look at it. Right now I have a dictionary of a person. What about you? You are a programmer. Let's say you are given a task in a particular establishment and they ask you to get the staff in a particular department. All right? Get the staff in a particular department, like 3 departments like that. Get the name of the staff. How do you do that? In this particular concept, remember you are doing procedural programming. In this particular concept, and print it out in a form of on the terminal. You have concept of nested dictionary. Let's look at this department. In an ID establishment, let's say we have the HR department, we have the IT department, we also have the sales department. These are 3 different what departments. Okay. Now you are now asked to print out the name of the head of this department using the concept of what dictionary. Now that will take you to what to what we call the nested word dictionary. The nested word dictionary. To dictionary of what of dictionary. So what I'm going to do here now. Let's say the HR department is the one that is in charge of recruitment in every company. HR department, I have something like this. I want to get the name of the HR head. After the HR department, I want to get like 3 departments, the head of 3 departments. I'm the HR, the human resource manager. Okay, then I'm asked to print out names of head of other 2 departments. Okay, so what will I do in that case? I will declare another dictionary here. Let's say I want to get the name of the the head of the head of IT. The head of what? IT. So if I have something like this, okay, I'll pass it inside what? Another dictionary. So the head of IT, what am I looking at? The name. Okay. The name, let's say the name is Oliver. Oliver Twist. Then the address. No need of address. Is there any need of address? Let's say the address. The address is Lagos Island. All right. Now let's say the occupation of Oliver. Sorry, the qualification. Not occupation now. Qualification. Oliver is having masters, MSc. Let's just say MSc in ICT. All right. Now, then I want to see the head of another department. I'm going to pass a command there. Quotes. Let's say head of sales department. Head of sales. Head of sales. So pass this here. I'll get this. Please permit me to copy this, but I'll just be editing it. Name, let's say Mike Ojo Mike Ojo. Address Enugu Island. Qualification MSc in business administration, business admin. Now look at it. This is a dictionary. Head of ICT is a dictionary. Head of what says is a dictionary. HRO is a dictionary. So inside HRO dictionary, I'm having dictionary. I'm having another word, dictionary. Now let's assume that I want to print out something here. Let me just print out this, copy this. Let's assume that I want to print out, so let's say print the HRO. Let's say print HRO. Please, I'm going to print it out in a way that we're going to understand the concept. Let's use print.what.items. So that will get, so that it will be grouped for us properly. So if I run this program, what am I having? I'm having, it's telling me that, look at it, to built-in method items of this or what object. So what it's saying now is this, that I can't get, all right, this is supposed to be in quotes. I have to have a bracket because item is a what? It's a built-in method. So if I run this, what do I have? I have two different dictionaries here. When I look at head of IT, it brought out name, Oliver Twist, address. I have this here. The head of what says, they print out them for me. So if I want to loop it, I can say, I can say loop for age in HRO.what items, for age in HRO.what items. And I now come in here, I say print what, print out what age, print out what age. So if I run this program, it will be printed out what in a vertical order. You can see that head of IT, head of what sales. Now the beauty of a nested dictionary is that a dictionary assessing items of the first dictionary, which is head of IT alone, okay, item of head of IT alone, that head of IT you are seeing, it becomes what? The key. Look at what I mean. Let's say, for example, I come here, I said print, okay, the dictionary name is what? Is HRO, right? That's the name of the dictionary, HRO. Now we said for you to access the value, if you look at the first example I gave for person, I said for you to access the value, I said you need the what? The key. True or false? Now if you are having a nested dictionary, for you to access the item that belong to the other dictionary, the dictionary becomes what? The key. Okay, the dictionary becomes the key. So I'm going to say, I'm going to have something like this here, the key, head of what? IT. So if I run this particular program, only items that belongs to what? Head of IT will be printed out. You can see Oliver Twist, Lagos Island, MSc in what? In what? In ICT. So if I want to print out head of sales, your guess should be good of mine. I need to call the what? The dictionary here now becomes what? The key. Head of what? Can I get it out printed out? Head of
sales, Abi.
Yeah, head of sales. I'm just trying to see the spellings so I will not make mistake. Head of what? Head of sales. Are you seeing it out? So holy head of sales what is printed out. What am I saying in essence? To access item in a nested dictionary, the dictionary becomes what? Key. Because basically, a dictionary is a pair, is a key and a value what? Pair. So the value is what, the key is what you use to access your what? Your value. Is that okay?
Yes.
Oliver, is it okay?
Yes.
All right. So please, can we end this class here today so that